Hello, I'm Steve Smith, your host for this presentation of Houston, Remember When. In this program, we are revisiting an era that many of you may recall, a time when Houston was just coming of age.
Well, Houston was a small town. When I was born, the population was 30,000, and I was born on McKinney Avenue, and McGowan Avenue was the end of the city.
A time for the young.
There were hardly any cars. We played shinny out in the middle of the street under the street lights.
When life seemed a little less complicated, and entertainment was where you found it.
Hide and seek was one of the favorite games. You would play it with the girls. You know, they would hide and you would try to find them. Roller skating. You had to have a key to your roller skates because they were the metal type that you put your little shoe and everything. You put it on there and then you would tighten it up and it would catch onto your shoe.
There were no private swimming pools in those days. So Buffalo Bayou was one of the main places that us kids went skinny dipping.
Well, our city has changed, but the memories live on.
On Saturday, usually my dad would give me 50 cents. And we could go to the movie for a quarter and then go to James Coney Island afterwards and get hot dogs, and they were a nickel apiece.
That was a nice place because you could go there and get you a Coke in a Coney Island and spend 20 cents and go to the show. You still have 30 or 40 cents left.
I was a little girl, and my mother was just crazy about the movies, so we'd go to the movies every time they turned around, you know, but we couldn't understand. They didn't speak, we just saw the pictures.
Full orchestras played to packed houses in those days, and frequently solo musicians provided entertainment and their own interpretation of the images on the screen.
A whole bunch of old movie houses, the Isis and the Texan, and all those movie houses had silent movies.
Well, they just played anything that felt like playing, that they thought would be appropriate, or anything they knew. But that was an addition to the movie, you know. They played it while the movie was going on, or sometimes between the movie and the next showing. But, and they used to say, oh, she's just a piano player at the movies, you know, and they didn't think they were great artists, but some of them were.
Fred's great musical background and integrity. He could play for almost any scene, almost knowing, you know, what it was going to be before it happened. So he was never at a loss to find a note on the organ to use. It was like a sing-song, and Freddie the music would be on the screen, and everybody, you know, the words would be underneath it, and everybody would have a great sing-song fest, and that was really a lot of fun.
Of course, in those days, the big stars were Douglas Fairbanks. Later on, his son Junior came along. Noah Barry. The first talkie was at the Kirby Theater, but it was a big deal to hear a talkie.